I'm Rassekh, and I create, design, and operate next-generation gas stations and convenience stores at airports. Ever since I was a little guy, I loved all things airplanes, airlines, had a travel agency in high school. I sold tickets through the night in college, took flying lessons for small planes and helicopters, worked in the summers for Alaskan Airlines, US Airways, Air France, and it was a natural fit for me to build one-stop shop, kind of next generation gas stations that could really go above and beyond your typical gas station, which really was a niche that seemed to be missing. Really, it's about having a vision to be able to look at a raw piece of dirt and see the potential and differentiate from a decent site and an A site. And when you find that A site, being able to line up a great list of national tenants or global brands that your travelers at major airports will trust. Pleasing people is never easy. Building something that people really want, fulfilling an actual need, takes a little bit of tweaking, takes trial and experience. Global technology organization, I started when I was in college because I'd grown up in these poor African countries, Mali, Ghana, Senegal, and in the late 90s there was very little internet there. So through my university I set up a class and students would go along with me every summer, and we set up internet centers, cafes for farmers, for students, for professors, for local media to be able to access these internet centers. And we're very fortunate to be able to train thousands of people on how to use those computers and how to use the net to improve their everyday lives. At the UN, I had the fortune of going to about 180 countries and was responsible for presidential summits. And these presidents would come often with very difficult needs, hard to anticipate. Just remember Gaddafi would come, and a couple times they would bring suitcases full of cash and say they wanted to reserve an entire hotel. But the night of their first night in New York, Gaddafi would say, no, I want to stay in a tent. And he tried to pitch a tent at the UN, which didn't work. And then he went to Central Park, and the police had to explain that that wasn't going to work. And finally, I think Donald Trump let him stay on one of his properties. Yasser Arafat used to come. You know, he was slated to speak for 5 minutes, and he might speak for 25 minutes. And keeping those events on time, on schedule, meeting people's needs, and really minimizing the number of complaints when you have presidents coming from as many as 180 countries at the same time to New York. I think being thrown in that hot water helped me develop a real understanding for anticipating customer needs and understanding your customer. It's pretty unique to have a traditional gas station together with alternative energy all in one station. I'm talking about biofuels. I'm talking about clean energy, compressed natural gas, high-speed electric charging stations for Teslas, a 7-Eleven convenience store. If they're hungry, they can get a bite to eat. We have flight information display screens right in our plazas, which I think are kind of cool because it gives you real-time data on all arrivals and departures out of that airport. Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel was excited about our project and the reason the announcement was made at the convention.
Thank you for partnering with us on this important project and for helping us to promote the use of clean fuels and electric power to vehicles to help make our city and our airport even greener.
We hope to continue to expand to a number of other airports, domestically and ultimately internationally.